Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Okay, so let's just cut to the chase. Black Americans, especially some of these black male YouTubers who are sparring back and forth with the black immigrants, have been trying to tell them that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was also tied to the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which opened the gates for people from the third world, because that's who was affected by it the most, to come to the United States. It was black people's advocacy that opened the door for them to be able to migrate to the United States. They don't want to believe that. The Indians don't believe it. The Africans don't believe it. The people of the Caribbean don't believe it. They don't believe it. So, okay, let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Did you see this video? Stephen Miller basically saying that every single immigrant and the children that they've had since 1965 have all been complete failures.
About the 1965 Immigration Act and what that means in American history. So during the civil rights era, and this is the simplest way I can put it, there was a thought, in effect, of applying civil rights to immigration policy for the globe and to create a civil right for people from every part of the world to come to America in ever-growing numbers. And so a system that for years, as you mentioned, had been tightly restricted, suddenly established this global ability of people in every part of the world to come to America, to bring their families to America. And so what you saw between 1965 and today was the single largest experiment on a society, on a civilization that had ever been conducted in human history. Not just the 76 million immigrants that were brought in, largely from the third world, but their descendants too. So you see with a lot of these immigrant groups, not only is the first generation unsuccessful, but you see persistent issues in every subsequent generation.
This is why after Trump won, I said that every single person of color, especially Latino, that voted for Trump basically spat in the face of the civil rights movement and the black community. That these people have never liked you and that they only wanted your vote so then they could take away everything you have. And people were foolish enough to give them that power. Stephen Miller knows his history, and if you're willing to listen for once, let me put you on game. It was because of the civil rights movement and the black community's hard work and their allies that we were able to have immigration reform, which made it easier for a lot of immigrants to naturalize or for them to be able to request their families to come to the U.S. And they were also the beneficiaries of birthright citizenship, meaning their children and their children's children could be born U.S. citizens. And since those laws passed, the right-wing Republicans have all been trying to do everything possible to repeal those laws. And by next year, the Supreme Court might give Republicans their wish if the right-wing majority court votes to get rid of birthright citizenship. So share this with any immigrant or a child of an immigrant who voted for Trump and thought they were going to be safe. It took less than a year from them to go from "we love immigrants who do it the right way" to "we hate all immigrants." Because like a lot of people told you and you thought they were lying, this was always the plan.
So I asked the co-pilot, what part did the civil rights movement in America play in the Immigration Act of 1965? The co-pilot said the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 was in many ways a direct offspring of the civil rights movement. The same moral, political, and legal arguments used to dismantle Jim Crow were then applied to dismantling America's racially discriminatory immigration system. So the Civil Rights Movement and the Immigration Act of 1965 were part of the same system. These immigrants do not want to believe this. Now, Stephen Miller has said that they have been unproductive in this country, meaning that they don't add anything to the country. That's what Donald Trump said about the Somalis. And so now they don't even have Black Americans as advocates because they've all come to this country and shitted on us. So it's open season on them. And it's nothing Black people can do. Before the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and before the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, America favored Western Europeans as immigrants, meaning white people. But it was Black people that forced America to look at the discrimination against Black people, really. Because Black Americans wanted other Black people to come to the country. They don't believe that. But it's written. And now I guess when the white people say it, they'll believe it. Before 1965, the system was designed to preserve a white Anglo-Saxon majority. After 1965, immigrants from Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean entered in large numbers for the first time in modern history. Now, Tariq Nasheed had a discussion with somebody from the Caribbean not long ago. They were arguing with him, and he told them this very same thing. Before 1965, they were not coming here in large numbers. Well, they will argue you down that they were always coming. And even when they were coming, they had to have a white sponsor or some white nation had to sign on for them to be able to come here. The demographic transformation is one of the most significant long-term legacies of the Civil Rights Movement. It was the Civil Rights Movement that changed the immigration laws in the United States. And again, they don't want to believe it. But when the white folks say it, I guess they'll believe it. And one thing that's kept very quiet about what's going on up there in Minnesota right now, I don't doubt for 1 minute that the Somalis are up there scamming and doing all kinds of fraudulent stuff because they're making it easy for them to do it. But behind the scenes, what's going on up there is that those white people are fed up with them. There's too many of them up there. They don't assimilate into the society. They're not like us. They don't speak the language and they're just all over the place, and the white people are tired of them. That is a part of what's going on up there. Some of those white people like them and they're fighting for them to be up there, I guess. But there's another group of them that's not. They don't assimilate. They don't make it easy for people to get along with them. And they're going to get out from up there one way or the other. I don't care how many white people come out there in the streets. They're going to get them out of there because listen to J.D. Vance.
I think we're going to see those deportation numbers ramp up as we get more and more people online, working for ICE, going door to door and making sure that if you're an illegal alien, you've got to get out of this country. And if you want to come back, apply through the proper channel.
Did I just hear the vice president of this country say that they're going to mobilize ICE to go door to door, and this is coming after ICE just fucking murdered a woman, a U.S. citizen? Seriously? We said, and I have to keep on harping on this because everybody that supported Kamala Harris, and we're trying to get everybody to recognize how dire the situation was if Donald Trump got back into office with the rhetoric that he was using. We were told we were crazy, we were fear-mongering, none of this stuff was ever going to happen. We even saw that with the World War III shit saying that Donald Trump was not a peace president, and they said that we were crazy and fear-mongering about that, and now we just watched Donald Trump bomb a country and kidnap their leader. But specifically with what he is doing here with these mass deportations, we said the rhetoric that he was using was extremely dangerous because there's no way that you're going to be able to do the things that he is saying that he wants to do without just being full blanketed racist ass agents of chaos. And Donald Trump has no problem with that. That is what he wants ICE to be. But they're now killing white people. That's what's so fucking crazy about that. If they're killing the white women, nobody is fucking safe. So if they're about to start sending door to door, this shit is about to get real crazy.
My whole point for making this video is to verify that the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 was brought to them by the Civil Rights Movement and the advocacy of Black Americans. Now they can take it or they can leave it alone. Now, the free ride is over. If he says they're going to go door to door, they're going to go door to door. Now, we know that these people will follow through on what they say, and they don't care what it looks like to the outside world. So if you're here illegally, the smartest thing for you to do is self-deport and get that $1,000 if you can, because they're coming for you. All right, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good day.